soothsayers would murmur secret prayers at midday at a crossroads on the second Tuesday of a month, and relay a dutiful list of everything they heard on the street in order to find said lost item. One day, when 20 lire had gone missing from her mother's kitchen drawer, one such prayer had returned with the word Francesco repeated 3 times. Alba remembers her mother pinning the unsuspecting labourers working on the house next door with her Sardinian glare, black eyes like darts, thick eyebrows scouring a frown, when she found out they were from out of town and all shared that very same name. After that incident, Giovanna stitched her cash into her skirts like her grandmother used to do. None of these accepted manias were woven into the morning of the 27th of May, 1968. No red sky in the morning to warn the shepherds, no burnt garlic, curdled milk, dough that wouldn't prove, solitary nightingale calls. It was a joyous late spring day, the kind that teases you with the golden kiss of the Mediterranean summer to come. Giovanna had shrieked at Alba to return in time to accompany her father to the vineyard. Her brothers Marcellino and Salvatore needed a rest, and besides, it was her turn. But the familiar trill of her mother's voice fell on deaf ears. Alba had lost track of time, or rather decided never to pay much attention to it to begin with, and when she sauntered home at last, was met with a kind of pummelling from her mother that should have been reserved for the making of bread or churning of butter alone. Marcellino had been sent in her place, and because of it, he now sat wrapped up in bed with her family facing a daily terror of a missing father. Giovanna drew back and clasped Marcellino's face in hers. "Eat, yes? Oh, my tesoro, did they hurt you?" More questions tumbled out, but the noise spun around the room like a gale. Grazietta muttered another snippet of a prayer before crossing herself and leaving oily water in tow. As news spread to the crowd downstairs that the firstborn had, at last, awoken, more women came upstairs and filled the room. Alba was shot a look that she recognized as her cue to bring the tray her mother had prepared. She pressed past the well-wishers and returned with the feast in hand, setting it down on his bed. Fresh spianata, Ozieri's renowned flatbread, enough cheese for a small football team, and a handful of black figs. 2 long, slipper-shaped papassini biscuits, and a glass of warm milk with a splash of coffee in it. If he wasn't dead yet, it seemed the army of mothers were to kill him off with overfeeding. "Oh, Dio mio!" one of the wailers cried. "His eyes, Giovanna, the look in this poor child's eyes." They took another breath in preparation for a further fervent chorus, when a shout tore through the pause. The door flung open. Grazietta reappeared, face flushed, her circular wire glasses askew on her nose. "Benito's on the television, Giova! Beni! Come, quickly!" Giovanna followed Grazietta out, with the tumble of others close behind. Alba followed down the stone steps to their small living room. She'd never been in a room with so many quiet Sardinians. Even in church or at funerals, words couldn't fail to escape. A titbit of gossip, a grievance about the lack of flowers or the ostentatious abundance of them, the age of the priest or lack thereof. Now, the dozen or more neighbours crammed into their room made Alba feel like the charred aubergines her mother would squeeze into jars throughout the summer. On the small square of screen in the corner, above a chest of drawers, topped with a laced doily, was her father's brother Benito. The angle of the camera pointed up towards him, beyond the familiar outline of the Ozieri Valley in silver tones. He seemed relaxed, even though Alba was sure the words he spoke were some of the hardest he'd ever have to say. "I speak on behalf of all my family," he began. "The bandits have picked on the wrong man. Our family is not rich. We don't have the money they are asking. We will not pay the ransom to release my brother Bruno." The lump in Alba's throat became a stone.